what does Judaism teach us, and particularly Hasidism, that we want to actually meet heaven and earth, the material and the spiritual and the physical, and we want to have them fuse in the middle. The words the Kabbalah uses, we want heaven and earth to meet and kiss. Well, it sounds very romantic, but what does that mean practically? We want to fuse the two. We don't want to be totally materialistic, but we don't want to be too up there. We want to bring the two together. What does that really mean? So we explained to Mendel and to all of our children is every single part of life. How we eat, how we sleep, how we play, how we work, all the things we do that makes us human. We can just do it as a human, or we can do it as an elevated, inspired human that's trying to uplift or infuse some of those or all of those activities with a spark of the divine, a spark of godliness. Which for anyone listening, it's like, okay, well, whatever. You know, we have usually in our lives compartments. This is, you know, my academic or my work life, my family life, my social life, my hobbies, my talents. We have all these different pockets. And for many people, one of those categories is also spiritual. So where do I go, or where do I do my spiritual activity? So for people who say, well, in the church or the mosque or the synagogue, that's where I show up and I do my spiritual activities. Judaism says, It's not a direct quote, but no, that is not what we do. You're going to be a human being with all the facets of what makes you a human, and then you're going to show up on a Shabbos or at a bar mitzvah or at a Yom Kippur, you're going to do something Jewish. That is not what we're talking about. What's the mandate of Judaism? Every part of your life, even the most private and intimate and personal, every part of your life, how can you find a way to infuse that with the divine? How can you find a way to make that a little bit elevated? So the Kabbalah teaches every one of us in this room, our neshama, our soul, up above, before it came down here in this body as we knew it or know it, this energy up above was male and female. What did they do up there, this male-female soul energy? I don't really know. They were best friends up in heaven. They loved each other. They hung out. They basked in God's divine glow and wisdom, and whatever souls do up in heaven, that's what they did. But then what happens? All of a sudden, Mazel Tov, a little baby boy is born, and it gets its energy and soul to give it life. In Brooklyn, doesn't matter what year, what day, a few years before or after a little baby girl is born, gets its energy of the soul coming down into a body. And the Kabbalah says, from the moment these children are born, it's totally subconscious, because a 2-year-old or even a 12-year-old probably cannot even articulate this, but maybe if they mature by the time they're 20 or 30 or 40, they can. And what does the soul inside this body say? Where's that other part of me from up in heaven, that best friend that I hung out with and basked with, and where? So why is this important? Because according to Judaism, this is the root and the secret of where attraction, chemistry, interest, magnetism, I'm drawn, I'm yearning, I'm searching, all of those words, where does it come from? It's not just because there's a biological need that needs to happen, although we're not going to deny that that's a reality. And it's certainly not evil and lustful, bad and dirty. It's the most holy, divine, godly yearning and desire to connect to another and become one again. Because you were once one on a soul level, now that you're going to bring it down into reality, bring heaven down to earth, and make that connection and that bond and that intimacy real in the flesh and blood on planet Earth, there's nothing more godly and divine and powerful and amazing as that. And so Judaism starts out, why am I telling you this? It could be, you can't start anywhere without knowing what is Judaism thinks, this force, this attraction, this desire, where is it coming from? The holiest part of you, your neshama, wants to connect to another.